The symptoms of a stuck open thermostat are the car will not warm up. Sometimes it'll only go to a quarter here. Sometimes it'll look like it is warm, but on these older Corollas, the idle will be higher. It'll idle at about 1100 to 1500 RPM instead of the 800 that it should be at. If it's stuck in an open loop and not warming up the way it should, it'll run richer. So on a cold day, you'll see it like putting out steam or smoke like it would when it's really cold. Also, your gas mileage will be quite a bit worse. So today I'm going to be changing the thermostat and doing a radiator drain and fill. Got a gallon of the red coolant, got a gallon of distilled water. Got a cheap aftermarket thermostat that will definitely fail within a year, and a gasket. If you're seeing this, like, my car doesn't have the red coolant in it, it's got the green coolant in it. That's fine. Most people don't use the red stuff anyway. While it's draining, just gonna get everything I need loose to change the thermostat. And you do not have to drain the radiator to change the thermostat. I'm going to make that clear. So to change this thermostat, just about every video seems to do it differently. I do it differently than every other video I've seen. Just disconnect this sensor. Got your two 10mm bolts, one up top, one on the bottom. Size socket. And just get them loose. And then just take it off by hand. So after I reposition my drain pan underneath here and attempt to catch at least some of this, take these nuts off. And then just move that out of the way, pull him out, and you're good. Does appear to be catching it, which is awesome. So here's our failed thermostat. When I first did this years ago, this gasket confused me. So you see that groove in the center of the gasket? That goes around the thermostat. Now if you have a thermostat with a little air bleeder, that needs to go in the 12 o'clock position. And when you're reassembling, keep note that you don't want to get these too tight. These studs will break off very easily. Just get them as tight as you need. If you're uncomfortable, definitely use a torque wrench. A lot of people break these. The way I like to fill this kind of evenly at 50-50 is to just put both of them in the same container and kind of pour them at the same rate so that I'm left with the same amount on each side. Then I just mix them back in the antifreeze container and good to go. Now I just let her run till the thermostat opens up. Some people had commented asking about an update video, so I figured I'd just talk about how the car's been real quick. So in the last update video I did, this car had about 118,000 miles on it. It currently has 138,000. In those 20,000 miles, this car has been unbelievably reliable, and I've only had to change a few parts. One being that exhaust gasket that I did a video on. Another being the rear motor mount, which I should have changed like the day I got this thing, but I put it off, and I finally did it. Another one being I got tires for it. Besides just, regular maintenance, I change the oil every 3,000 miles, do a coolant drain and fill every year, do the transmission fluid every 20,000 miles. Brake fluid every 3 years, clutch fluid every 3 years, power steering fluid every 50,000 miles. Things been great. People have asked about the fluid film. Stuff's amazing. I've used it every winter. It really does work well. This thing is covered in salt, as you can see, and barely any, if any, new rust has started. My plans for this car are to just keep it forever, daily drive it, take good care of it, and hopefully see a million miles. I don't really get bored of vehicles, so I'll probably be driving this thing when I'm 40 years old.